You're a flight sim fan scrolling through your feed and suddenly a shiny overhead panel for MSFS pops up. Looks useful, maybe not too expensive, but should you buy it? Well, if it's the Rowsfire A106 Pro A32X overhead panel, stick around, because before you spend your money, there are a few things you may need to know. Only here at HowIPlay. Hello virtual pilots, I'm Andre Celesti, and tonight we're looking at a Rowsfire A106 Pro kindly sent over by the team at RTRHOBBY for review. As always, my thoughts are 100% my own. If you're an Airbus fan in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 or 2024, panels like this promise immersion, quick action, and that cockpit feel. But a fair warning, the Rowsfire A106 currently works with a limited number of aircraft, all Airbus focused, because it relies on the MobiFlight software. According to the store, support will expand in time. So, is it a deal breaker? Not necessarily, but you should know upfront. The panel arrived in a box with a A320 cockpit theme. Inside, it's well protected with foam, includes an USB-C to USB cable, and some, let's say, minimal instructions. In the hand, the metal casing feels solid, but I immediately notice loose switch covers, not ideal for something meant to be used hundreds of times in a weekly manner. That said, the layout is intuitive. Battery, APU, and ADIRs are easily accessible. Lightning controls front and center, which you'll use constantly. And the cherry on the top is the adjustable backlighting, which really sells the A320 cockpit vibe. Looking good! When it comes to mounting, I use the next level racing support plus a rotating mounting plate from a monitor stand. But with enough measurements, you shouldn't have any trouble mounting this. Installation is not that bad. You have to install the required driver and then make sure to select the correct version of the device you have. They offer more choices on the store, and once everything is plugged in and running, you jump into the A320 and do the startup. To avoid any inconvenience, I recommend you run a test in the app. If everything is set correctly, all lights should flicker. They even have a nice tutorial that I found very useful. Link is in the video description. Once in the sim, well, here is where things got rocky for me. The ADIRS switch didn't work properly out of the box. The 3D printed knob spun freely and didn't catch the internal rod. It should act as a 3-position switch, but it doesn't. Also, I noticed that the external power button wouldn't register, but that may have something to do with the fly-by-wire module. Then again, I've noticed that some buttons need to be pressed multiple times in order to respond. It's almost like it has a small delay. Not what I expected from a $200 product. Just for you to know, I am using a powered switch, and all my other devices work properly out of the box. But with the panel, things are a bit problematic when I first tried it. I also did a test connected directly to the motherboard. Same issues with delay and a busted ground power button. Now, I will attempt fixes. For example, for the ADIRS knob, I will try some hot glue and, see what happens. But you shouldn't have to repair a brand new panel, no? With that being said, after checking other reviewers, not everyone had these issues. That means quality control could vary between the units. But at the end of the day, my job is to offer you my experience with all of these products firsthand, be that good or a less fortunate one. So let's balance the negatives. Compared to the DIY home cockpit panels, this is a decent entry-level option. The layout works, it adds immersion, and when the buttons do function, it's genuinely fun. But for a price that goes around $200, though it does have at the time of this video some discounts, I'd say it feels more like an entry-tier product, not a premium finish some might expect, but a stepping stone for Airbus fans looking to expand their sim pit. A friend of mine who builds panels as a hobby also pointed out that Microsoft Flight Simulator itself can cause input quirks, especially with different versions of the fly-by-wire A320. not every issue may come from the hardware. It's good to know, I guess. Also, the reason I chose the fly-by-wire because, let's face it, who flies the default A320, right? So it has to work on this one. But then, the obvious question pops up. Should you buy it? If you're a hardcore A320 simmer and you catch this panel on sale, it might be worth a try. Ideal from a store with a good return policy for your region. But at full price, with the risk of quality control issues, I'd be cautious. For me, it's a maybe. It's a cool gadget that needs better refinement. For the time being, I will continue testing, and if software updates happen or fixes improve the experience, I'll make an update here on the channel. A big thank you to RTRHOBBY for sending this unit. Again, they had no input in my review, and I only share my honest experience. So what do you think? Would you add something like this to your sim pit, or wait for higher quality options? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. And if this review was helpful, leave a like and subscribe for more showcases and sim news. And of course, a big thank you to my patrons for keeping this channel flying. And as always, I'm Andre Celesti, reminding you to fly safe, and I'll see you next time.